Oh,
Hello,
whoa.
everybody.
Hi.
Oh, it's time.
It's time to learn, but
I got
but
so many
maybe
windows open. I'm trying to get all my windows in order.
okay.
Hope everything okay. The audio seems to be all good.
Is it good?
Oh,
Is it
I
okay?
need to make us on screen. That's going to be huge.
That's really gonna take the stream to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm
As opposed to an
convinced
audio only experience.
for this drawing show that we do. Welcome. Welcome learners.
People are
File in.
honking outside. That's how you
Oh
know.
yeah. Honk if you love to learn. There's some spoilers for upcoming drawfies. There's some honks that we react to in a video that you cannot hear them. It's like we fully just like stop talking and start reacting to the honks, but they did not pick up on mic.
You need to put honks back
Yeah.
in post so that it makes sense that we're
Yeah, we're
reacting to the
gonna we're gonna get a
honks.
honk sound effect and I'm gonna put it back. So if anyone who's watching this, if you hear a honk in an upcoming video, you don't even know if that's the real honk.
It could be a
That's
fake
just
honk.
that's just a little behind the scenes look for you. But that's not why we're here.
Why
We're here
are
to
we
get
here?
loose. We're here to get loose.
Ooh, we getting loose.
We're here to get loose. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, Jacob, or you, anyone watching.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I get intimidated sometimes when I see the blank canvas,
Oh, I hate that
the
canvas.
blank the blank page.
It's the worst version of the page as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Um, and so I thought we could just together try some techniques to make it a little less scary. I think other draw classes we're going to be teaching you skills, and you hear a lot of artists, a lot of helpful artists online telling you about the right way to practicing certain fundamentals, and that's all good and important. That's not what we're doing today. Today we are just trying to free up our minds to be able to tackle the blank page and just make drawing seem a little less daunting and put
Hell
less
yeah.
pressure on it.
I love that.
Um, and you can apply any skills that you're working on. You can apply to this, but I don't want you to be worried about anything you draw today looking good. If at the end of the 2 hours, everything that we've drawn together, you look at it and you're like, I don't want to see this ever again, delete it, throw it away.
You don't
It's
have
okay,
to.
because the fact that you just drew with me for 2 hours, that's where the value lies. And anything that you draw that you like, that's just bonus. That's just gravy.
That's a good mentality to
Um,
go in with.
yeah. I mean, it's you worded it very well in one of your first draw class streams, where drawing is output, practice is input. This is all input. This is all stuff that we're training our brains to be unafraid, to just have these tools in our back pocket. If you find yourself just like opening a digital drawing document, or a piece of physical media that you're working on, and just feeling uninspired or intimidated, hopefully you can try this, and it'll help you get there. It'll help you
Yeah.
at least put something down.
Yeah.
um the first thing that I need from you, Jacob, is to let me share my screen.
I would love it if you could do that. Allow me to remember real quick how to make that happen for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done it.
um
You
Thank you.
should be allowed now.
So yeah, this is just a little guided practice, a little draw along stream. Anything that you draw here is just for you. If you want to share anything, in the Discord, in the Draw Class Discord. You're welcome to, but no pressure.
Anything you draw here cannot and will not be used against you in a court
No.
of law.
This is all for you, not against you. So here we have the aforementioned blank canvas.
It's horrible, dude.
I
hate this thing.
I purposefully did not put a title on this class because I want us all to just look at this and feel the way we're feeling about it. And here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna take our little stylus, just gonna put it anywhere on the page.
All right, I'm doing it too. I'm putting it anywhere.
And we're just scribbling. First thing we're doing,
ooh,
just fill that page with scribbles.
I'm doing noodles like you.
Just fill it up.
I'm noodling.
Don't think about it. Just noodles.
Oh, one of my noodles touched the other noodle, and
that's okay.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
Today,
that's okay. They can cross. They can do whatever you want. You can tangent. This is the first one. This one is just, we're not thinking about it at all. We're just filling the page. We're just going.
Even something like this still gives you a little bit of like hand muscle practice.
Yep. Okay. It's gone.
Look at how little any of this matters.
We're gonna do it again.
Again?
We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it again. This time, go a little slower. If you find yourself gripping the pen tight, grip it a little looser. But again, we're not thinking about form. We're not thinking about line quality. All we're doing is filling the page and feeling the stylus, whatever implement you're using. You can be drawing on paper if you want. I think it might even be better to draw on paper for this. But do whatever you want. I guess since we're disposing of stuff, maybe that's more wasteful. But if you've got just like some scrap paper and you want to try doing that. But we're just getting used to the way it feels to draw. Because sometimes you go into drawing and you have an idea in your head of what you want it to look like. You're trying to accomplish something. But you lose sight of the fact that like it's a dexterous act you're doing. You're too busy thinking and you're not just drawing. And so right now we're just letting ourselves draw. We're letting whatever part of our brain controls our hand just guide us. And we're not going to let any of our preconceptions about what our drawing should look like get in the way of that.
Neo in chat said, I feel a deep desire to make spirals, and it reminds me of the horror class in a scary way.
Oh, yeah. Make some spirals.
But definitely don't give completely into that desire. Because there's some cautionary tales about spiral obsession.
And I'd encourage you for this portion to just not erase and try not to pick up your stylus. If you do, that's okay. I'm not going to judge you. I'm trying to put as little pressure on you as possible here. But this is just my advice to you. Try and just let your hand guide you. Just feel it out. We're just feeling here. We're not looking, we're not thinking. We're just feeling. I'm no meditation expert, but I feel like this is maybe meditative.
I would say that's exactly what it is.
And we're just letting ourselves mess up this canvas and know that it can't hurt us. Even if we draw lines that when we look at them, we're like, why did I draw that? Nothing bad happens.
The bad line man doesn't come
No.
and take you away. Because guess what? He doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. He's not real.
And he can't hurt you.
Just like even ease back. Grip that stylus a little lighter. Grip it a little further back. Make motions.
Oh, you can get that super loosey if you're going further back.
Yeah, you can get it real loosey. And again, if going too far back makes you feel uncomfortable, that just hold it however's comfortable. But see how far back you can hold it while still feeling comfortable. And just fill that page up. Okay. And like that, get those last few lines in. If you want to, and if I'm moving too fast, if I'm moving on too fast, you don't need to move at my pace. All right. I'm just trying to fill the time. Hope you get as much out of this as you can. But we're just gonna say that one's done for now. If you want to come back to it, you can. So now we're gonna try again, but this time we're gonna try and go even slower and start to notice the shapes you're making. We're letting our hands guide us still. But if we find an interesting shape, and don't force it. You don't have to. But if as you're drawing, you're like, hey, that shape kind of looks like something, you can go in there and maybe work on it a little. Like, for example, I've made this shape here. Just take a look at it. This kind of looks like a mouth. Maybe it becomes a mouth. Maybe you drew something that looks like a mouth.
I drew something that looks like two birds screaming at each other.
Make the birds scream at each other.
So I'm gonna lean into the birds.
Follow that.
Screaming at each other.
And maybe there's just a little friend who appears. And he's just like, hey, you drew me.
You thought you made me from the ether.
Yeah, you thought you were just drawing doodles, but now there's a friend here.
It puts you back in the mindset of like drawing as a kid.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm just doing stuff, and then if something strikes my fancy, I just keep going on that.
This looks like a bunny man wearing baggy jeans doing like a big kick. He's got like bunny ears. He's going like, ah.
Neo in chat said, are we allowed to try to do good? Not yet.
You're allowed to try.
Don't you try to do good.
This is for you. You can try and do whatever you want. I think this is valuable no matter where you're at in your art journey. If you just draw for fun, if you're an aspiring professional or a working professional, just going back to real loose, to feeling loose. And I mean, this is to supplement whatever else you're doing with your art. Obviously, this alone isn't going to get you better at drawing. You need to practice life drawing. You need to practice the fundamentals, thinking about shapes and space and all that stuff. But sometimes you can get real bogged down in that. You can put pressure on yourself. that even your practicing needs to be done the right way, and that can sometimes be limiting. And I think there's value in just making yourself draw anything and reminding yourself that there's nothing to be afraid of. And I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you. I've found that, at least for me, for my draw classes that I'm doing, usually the most recent ones that I've done are I'm doing classes on stuff that I myself am working through in my own art. And I'm inviting you to be on this journey with me. Because again, there's lots of really great resources um online. Much better artists than me are going to teach you all sorts of techniques and practice styles for those techniques. Um, and so, you know, what am I bringing to the table? I'm just here to tell you that wherever you're at in your art journey, that's cool. And you don't need to, don't let the pressure of trying to get better stop you from doing anything, I think.
Yeah, it's easy to get paralyzed when you think about all the things you need to work on or that you could be working on or all the places you need to improve. And your brain gets stuck and you're like, I feel like I can't do anything because there's so much I need to do.
Yeah, that's not what we're doing today.
This is unsticking practice.
Yeah, we're getting unstuck here.
Because you can do this no matter your mental state.
Yeah. Just like as you go, it's really incredible. Just doing this, like my brain starts thinking different. It starts making shapes that I wasn't thinking of when I started doing this.
Yeah, you'll find like new inspiration. I'm looking at a guy right now I drew and I'm like, I would not have drawn this guy. I don't even know if I should have drawn this guy.
Do you have anything you'd like to share with the class, or is it just for you?
Yeah, I mean, once we get this page done, I'll show my page.
Sure. Let's see. This is
It is cool, like the mental difference of drawing a weird shape and then looking at that weird shape, and then suddenly your brain is like, I my brain has immediately reinterpreted this shape as something else. And
yeah,
it's like so easy to see now. Whereas you would never have come up with it if you hadn't drawn the shape first.
right? Yeah. It's magic. Drawing is witchcraft, and your brain is more creative than you think it is. And
Your
if you
brain
trust,
is more creative than you,
your brain is more creative than you.
and yet it is
And
you.
it also, but it also is you.
How could this be?
Ultimate betrayal. Like a little dog's face over here.
At the Kraken said, Nathan's voice is so chill, I'm nodding off at work. This could also be something you listen to just to go to sleep.
Yeah, you
And
can.
whenever Nathan's talking, you go to sleep, and then when I start talking, you wake up again.
I think your voice is pretty soothing in its own right. Yeah. You know, none of this none of this is particularly good, what I've drawn, but it's good that I've drawn it. And that's, I think, something you should always remember with any drawing you do. Even if you don't think you're doing practice, if you're trying to draw for output and it's not working, there's still value in that because even if you're frustrated in the moment, your brain is learning. Your brain is always learning from what you're doing. So I'm just going in now, adding little details and whatnot, but my page is basically full at this point. Can I take
Yeah.
a look at
Yeah, mine is
yours?
full as well. I'll show you mine.
Show me yours.
Do a quick share here of this one. This one.
Oh yeah. I
Is
I
that?
love I love the little
Yeah.
like ape face you've got in the upper right. I love this this like Birdman,
The Birdman is the
this
guy I was talking about,
this lumpy
where I
Birdman.
would definitely not have drawn a thing like that. But there he
That
is.
rules. This is wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun to do. It's very freeing.
Yeah. Um
All right, I'll send you back.
so yeah. And again, if anybody has anything they want to share from any part of this, please put it in the draw class Discord channel, but also no press, no press if not. This is for you. Okay. So now we've done our scribbles. We've gone through the scribble stage.
Do you want to share back?
I do. I actually really do. Thank you for reminding me that that's what I wanted to do. Sounds like advice from Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. Smarter than you think. Uh, you're smarter when you're pink. All right. What was the next thing I wanted to do? Oh, now that we're a little loose, let's get back into something we did on my last draw class, where now we're going to try and be a little bit more intentional with our drawing. Still try and keep it loose, but now let's try and draw discrete geometric shapes.
Oh ho ho.
We'll start with some circles. And again, they don't need to be perfect. These are more like oblongs. But instead of doing one contiguous line, we're going to draw some closed shapes here. And I keep accidentally hitting the button on my stylus,
But that's okay.
but that's okay. And we can,
You can hit the button on your stylus.
and if a circle turns into more of a blob, that's okay too. But let's try and do circles. And, try and this again, I'm talking to myself as well. Try and notice where your motion is coming from. If you're drawing from the wrist, see if we can't go to the elbow. If we're going from the elbow, see if we can't move it all the way to the shoulder. Get more fluid.
Get your whole torso involved.
Get your whole torso involved. Do a big twist. And if you need a moment to just like stop and stretch, go for it. We're just going to fill this page with circles. This is circle time.
Welcome to circle time. No squares allowed. Am I right?
Squares are coming next.
Oh god. Then they'll be super allowed.
Yeah. But right now it's just circles. And again, a better artist might tell you you should want to make the circles good. And there's a time and place for that.
We
You
don't
should
want to do that.
absolutely you should absolutely practice drawing better circles than the ones you're drawing right now, but that's for then. Because what's cool is even though none of these circles that I'm drawing are perfect circles, they all still read as circles, you know?
Yeah, you know what it is.
And that's a cool thing about drawing is a representation, right? I've said this before, but drawing is lying. It's lying to your eyes and other people's eyes because all this is lines, right?
It's always lines or
But when you
shapes.
look at them, you're like, these are shapes. But all I've done is I've changed the hue of certain parts of this canvas, and your brain is like, these are circles. These are like bubbles in a vat or something.
And in
Your
that
brain,
way, your brain is much dumber than you.
yeah, it's dumb, but it's also having more fun.
Yeah.
Your brain wants to let your brain have fun.
Yeah,
Your
it's having
brain's
a good
like,
time.
yeah, I know what this is. And so people, when they look at your drawings, they'll be doing that too. They they can tell what you're going for, you know? It's pretty crazy the way that works. And just as you're doing it, just notice how it feels to draw the circles. If you draw a circle, you just happen to draw one that you really like how it turned out, try and recapture that feeling again on the next circle you draw. If you draw one that you really don't like, try something different on the next one. Try just adjusting how lightly or how tightly you're holding your implement, how
Keep it
fast
light,
you're
keep it tight,
moving. Yeah,
in some ratio of those two things.
you want to get it right and you want to get it tight, but not too tight
And you want to keep it
because
light, but not too light.
exactly.
So be careful.
So be careful. Yeah.
This is reminding me of when I was like a kid and I had the first moment of realizing that if I drew like an object that overlapped with the object with another object, it would look like it was in front of it.
Yeah.
That was like a specific brain moment for me. That was like an aha moment as like an 8 year
Yeah.
old or whatever, where I was
It's
like, that's
it's
crazy.
it's wild. Like you've just been drawing circles and there's an illusion of depth.
Yeah.
Like I've just been absent-mindedly drawing these ugly circles. And this is kind of a cool looking page, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It does
Um
kind of look like tardigrades. You're right. At the
yeah.
Kraken. It's got that microscope look.
Yeah. And so again, do this as much if you're done with the circles and you just need a break, that's cool. I'm just gonna do a couple more, then we're gonna move on. And again, any of these things you can practice more deliberately, right? Like if you're like, I want to get better at drawing circles, you can absolutely do that. You can practice drawing circles, right? There's that expression, perfect practice makes perfect, right? So there are definitely people who are going to tell you there's like a right way and a wrong way to practice. And for certain techniques and skills, and if you're like on a timeline that you want to get better by, like there are certainly more efficient ways to practice than what we're doing here. But sometimes you can't get there if you're just too intimidated,
Yeah.
if you're putting too much pressure on yourself to do it right.
In a weird, like, backwards way, it's often like trying to practice the most efficiently can make you less efficient
Yeah.
if it makes you not want to practice at all.
It's like when you're playing like a video game and you spend all your time looking up a guide for like the most efficient route to level, and you could have just been spending that time playing the game,
Yeah.
you know? I again, I think there's absolutely there's so much good stuff online. There's so much valuable tutelage that you can find. Um, Artists on YouTube are incredibly generous with their knowledge and their techniques and their practice regimens. And so if you're looking to improve specific skills, you can absolutely find ways to do that. Um, but sometimes there's just a block, right? And you see what they're doing, and they're so much better at it, right? Because they've been doing it for longer. So when they do it, it looks easy, it looks better than what you're doing, and it can be intimidating. You can feel like, oh, I'm not doing this right, I'm not getting it. And you know, then you can just go back to drawing some blobs.
Yeah, can't do that wrong.
No, because ultimately, I think like part of the reason why you're here, why you want to improve, is because like on some level you enjoy art, you enjoy making things. And I think it's important to periodically remind yourself that fact
Yeah,
through
totally.
through action, through doing. And so that's what today is all about. That's what these next, well, we've already been going for like a half hour. That's what this next hour and a half is about. It's about relieving the pressure. It's about finding the fun, and maybe you improve. Maybe you work on something that you've been working on. Just sort of gets a moment to just chill in the back of your mind. And it's crazy the way that like just resting on a lesson or something, or practicing something else, giving your brain a break after you've worked it really hard, lets it continue. It keeps cooking. It's like leaving it in the oven.
Yeah. It's what they mean when they say let him cook.
Exactly.
It's your brain.
All right, now we're gonna do some non-curvy geometric shapes. They can be a little curvy,
Gonna
but
get
let's
some
start.
polygons.
We're gonna do some polygons, maybe some polyhedrons. The cube. Artists online are always talking about drawing the cube at different angles.
I
I
know
know
the cube.
Julia. I know Julia at art school was made to draw cube many times.
And she's a master of cube now.
She's a master of cube. So we're just gonna draw. We can draw cube. We can draw pyramid. I already screwed up this pyramid. It's okay. It's going this way now. Easy. We figured it out.
Easy fix, no
Easy,
problem.
easy fix. We can do a pyramid with a square base. And again, you can absolutely practice doing this better
But why would you?
than why would you? If you want to improve. If you
No.
actually want to improve, there's better ways to do it. But
This is like part of improvement.
yeah.
I genuinely feel like the best thing, if I look back at my like history of doing art,
Hmm.
the best thing I ever did to improve was simply not stopping doing it over a long period of time.
Yeah.
And whatever enables you to do it for a long period of time without wanting to stop doing it forever
Yeah.
is the best practice method. And so like if you can find a way like this to enjoy it, to just like have fun while you're doing it, it actually I think does make a big difference to like your progress. That's a
And
horrendous pyramid. That's okay.
that's okay. And yeah, if you want to make these cubes a little gelatinous, have them sort of bending and twisting
Oh, I like that twisty cube.
in space.
I'm
You
gonna
can
twist
try
a
that.
cube.
You can twist your cube. You can even add some like guidelines if you want as you do it. But again, if you find yourself feeling too rigid with these shapes, just loosen it up. Draw a real messed up cube. Draw like a squiggly one. Draw the worst cube you can think of.
Draw
And
your most hated cube.
draw your most hated cube and stare it right in the face and be like, you can't hurt me.
You're just lines.
You're just lines. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you don't make sense geometrically. You're nothing to me.
Get really mean.
Get really mean to your cube and then realize you've hurt the cube's feelings and apologize and go like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
I was out of line, but also
You're made out of lines.
you're made out of lines, and I meant it.
I was out of line, but you're made out of lines.
I shouldn't have said it, but I do believe it still.
Yeah. It was rude, but it was also the truth.
Neo asked, is it normal when you start trying to draw from the shoulder to get sore really fast?
I don't know. If your shoulder has if you haven't warmed up your shoulder, maybe. If you're feeling sore, stop doing the thing that's making you sore. That is my advice.
Yeah, I
You can do some stretches. You can do some stretches. Do one of these.
Definitely do some stretches, and also remember that it's your shoulder's a muscle.
Yeah.
And so like the more you use your shoulder to draw, the more stamina you will get in the future.
If at any point during anything we're doing you start to feel sore, stop doing that.
We don't want you to, if you keep going, that's how you injure yourself, which we don't want.
Oh, the camera is not visible. I see. So
the camera's not visible.
It's just my screen.
That's
I was doing stretches, but I realize now
that's like so cool that's that's what's happening.
Why is the camera not visible, Jacob?
It's like such a good question. Okay, that ain't right.
We're feeling loose about streaming as well. Oh, Jacob, I love your shapes.
Oh, thank you. You're getting a little peek at them.
You've got such good line quality, and that's there's a lot of different because you I think just practice drawing more than I do, and that's something that's going to happen if you practice more. Your line quality is just going to improve.
There we go. I got us up there now.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
There we are. Okay, sorry, the stream was on. Okay, these stretches,
me.
these stretches.
Yeah, those stretches.
This so a couple of these. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Um,
always a good. These ones, any stretches that like pro gamers do, you're using a lot of the same muscles. So any just like take your hand, pull it down like this.
yeah, great wrist stretch.
Make sure your back is straight while you're doing these.
Yeah, I do that one a
Wrist
lot.
stretch. Yeah, do one of these. Do one of these. Yeah, stretch break. Good idea to do a stretch break. Thank you.
I'll stretch too. I'll stretch with you.
Let's do some stretchies.
Oh, loosen the shoulders.
Yeah.
I did a shoulder workout today, so
Wow.
feels extra good. Oh, you can get the little behind the back tricep extension. Pull it back.
Yeah, do these ones.
Oh, stretching
Yeah.
is so good.
Stretching
Oh,
is honestly top tier,
it's one
S
of the
tier.
best things. Yeah, I do the
All right.
wrist ones like all the time while I'm working.
Yeah. All right. Back to the shapes. Back to
Um,
these cubes.
I was
These
gonna say
horrendous
too, with
cubes. Yeah.
regard to line quality,
Mm-hmm.
is that that's for me always been something that I had the most fun doing, is making the lines look good, and so I naturally gravitated towards doing that more often. But I was going to use that as an example to say that it's okay to like find the things you enjoy about the artistic process. Like for me, it's lines. I've always loved lines. Some people always love like shapes in particular, or colors, or value, or just something that you can always go to and feel like, ooh, I like doing this part. And it's okay to like, to focus on that part, to like find the fun in doing that part. And you'll kind of find your own little specialties along the way.
You by saying that, Jacob, you've spoilered part of this class.
Oh no, dude. Oh god, forget I said anything.
No, that's good.
But then later you'll be
it,
surprised.
it means we're on the same page. No, that's exactly a point I was going to bring up.
I'm sorry I
Um,
jumped the queue.
no, it's good.
We'll talk more
It
about it
means
later.
it means that we're on the right path. If we are already thinking that way, because yes, spoilers for later in the stream. We're going to be drawing some animals because that's what I enjoy
Oh
drawing.
yeah.
I'm going to be using the animals as an example of drawing something that you enjoy.
I've got an animal coming up into my lap right this second.
Nice.
Come here,
We miss
bud.
the cats. We miss the cats on streams. The audience misses the cats,
Here she
and so do
is.
I.
The people can see her. A glimpse of her right now. What's up, buddy? I'm gonna lift you up so that people can see you in the camera. Meow. You're not looking up. You gotta look up. Meow. She hates it. But not enough to leave.
Yeah.
Her desire to be here outweighs her desire to not be lifted up for the camera to see.
And when we get to the animal part of the stream, if drawing animals is something that is not enjoyable to you, you do not have to draw the animals. You can pick anything else to draw during that part. This stream is about feeling loose, feeling comfy, feeling good. So if any of the things that I'm suggesting don't make you feel that way, you do not have to do them. There's plenty of time to get out of your comfort zone. And work on stuff on your own time.
I'm
But
gonna draw animals with you, Nathan. I'm just
that's
letting
not
you
what
know.
today's about. Today is about getting loose, having fun, feeling good, feeling dumb.
I find that I really like drawing animals too, as long as I don't have to make them look like the animal.
And you don't have to.
If I can make them look stupid, I have a really good time.
I've filled up the screen with shapes. I'm getting rid of it.
Shape time is done.
Shape time is done. Um, so you kind of already did this, with the when we were doing our doodlemans.
Doodlemans.
So we're gonna do that again, but you know, combine sort of some geometric and some blobby lines, and we're just gonna fill the screen with some shapes.
Thank
Don't
you.
think too much about these shapes. Just some 2D shapes
We're gonna
right
do a
now.
random shape challenge.
We're gonna do a little bit of a random shape challenge for ourselves
But
here.
it's not a challenge. You don't there's no
No,
challenge aspect. It's just for fun.
this is just for fun.
When we do it on episode, that's not for fun. That's a
No,
challenge.
that's for work.
I love making random shapes.
You're really good at them.
What
Just
I
gonna have a
find
little.
is a good random shape tip is like whatever you how do I vocalize this? Whatever sort of thing you just did, then do the opposite thing on like your next
Yeah,
bit of the shape. Like if you
and
just did some
that's
lumps, then do a big long straight line. If you just did a big long straight line, then do some little choppy lines. And if you just did some choppy lines, do some round lines. And you
that's
just kind of mix it all up.
that's just good art advice as well. That typically in like character design or creature design, it's good to like follow a curve with like a straight. There's like rhythm in that.
Rhythm is a dancer.
Yeah. All
Also,
right. So we've got these shapes in here, and now what we're gonna do is just like Jacob said, random shape challenge. You can use the whole shape, or you can sort of like build a little friend who lives inside the shape. However you wanna do it. This is something that I've done with like anatomy classes as well, but we're not super focused on doing good anatomy here. If you want to take this opportunity to work on any sort of skills that you've been working on, feel free. But just like pick one of these shapes and start filling it. Start filling it with whatever comes to mind. And again, try and notice how you're holding your stylus, the motions you're doing. Try and focus more on that than on the content of what you're making. Just sort of let the making happen, and you focus more on how it feels to do the making, if that makes sense.
makes sense to me.
Did you draw something that made you laugh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to see.
I had a shape that really looked like a garden gnome, and so I was making a garden gnome, but then I got down to a part where like the only thing he could have with the way the shape was just a big ol' honking pair of bazonkers. And I wasn't expecting him to have those till I got there. And then with the face I gave him, it just really tickled me.
I'm very excited to see. I
Well,
drew.
he's excited for you to see too.
This is just like a really,
Ooh, it's Guile.
squishy Guile.
What happened to Guile?
He got he. I don't know.
No, dude.
Something happened to Guile. Um, this is keep drawing fighting game characters. This is the guy from that other fighting.
Heihachi.
Heihachi, yeah.
Heihachi Mishima. The new Tekken just, came out. So that's on point.
That's on point. That's SEO. Yeah. Try and delight yourself with what you're drawing. Let's see. And if something doesn't come to you right away, you can move on to a different shape. This looks like sort of a lady doing like a sultry pose. Like one leg up, going like this. I guess I'm already breaking my rule. Try not to erase and undo, but if something's really bothering you about what you drew, it's okay. You can erase. I won't tell anyone.
I'm doing a Heihachi too.
Hey, Hachi. Yeah, a lot of mine are like faces I'm seeing.
Yeah, mine are too, but that's what I gravitate towards.
I think I just drew a lot of face shapes. That's okay. Maybe he's got like a guy up here. Like a hair guy. Like a bird. Some sort. Axe beak. Bird.
It is just nice to do stuff like this and remember that it's like fun to do
Yeah.
this. It's so easy to forget that it's fun to do this.
It's good to remember. It's easy to forget, but it's good to remember. Y'all want to put on some like music in the background while you do this also, feel free. I should have mentioned that at the start. What is this one? This one, I made this shape too open-ended. We're just gonna have to figure it out. Let's just put like, this looks like this could be a butt here.
I got some tunes for you. Here you go.
Are you playing tunes? Oh, you're singing them. Yeah. Are you singing
relaxing?
along? Are you singing along with something, or is that
This
that was
is
just off the
all off the
dome?
cuff. I'm trying to follow like
Nice.
the instructions of the art class, you know?
Oh yeah, you're follow. I don't know if this works for music. These
I mean, it seemed to be working.
uh
It's in your head now.
it's pretty catchy. Song of the summer. The one where Jacob goes, ah.
And there's never a beat and a melody at the same time. They alternate. Oh, I like this grill.
He's doing like a little steppy.
This gorilly.
And then finally,
Little step and turn.
this one. What is this one gonna be? One option is just giant nose. Sort of like a giant nose man. It's like maybe even it's like here we go. That he's like a dog.
Nose dog.
Nose dog.
Yo, it's Nose Dog, everyone.
Nose dog.
Oh yeah, good. Nose Dog is the lyric. Nose Dog. Nose Dog. The good thing about this song is that anybody can sing it.
Anybody can sing the nose dog song. We thought you thought this was just going to be for drawing, but this is also a music writing class, it turns out.
Damn, I really like Nose Dog.
I really like Nose Dog too.
There's something very compelling about Nose Dog.
Give him like a little like
A little paw print hat.
yeah.
That's very cute, Nose Dog.
Like yeah. Got a little tongue sticking out. So yeah, not all these are winners, but every so often you find Nose Dog in there. So yeah, that's these are all things you can do to make art feel a little more fun, a little more loose. We're at the hour mark here. I think now that we're feeling a little loose, a little looser.
Wait, I gotta show you this dwarf. This gnome.
Please show me yours. Yes.
It's really important that you see him before.
It's really important that everybody sees.
Because I think it's gonna like alter sort of the tone of the rest of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like he knows.
Hachi's like trying to get a look. He's like, I can't see past his hat.
But I know there's something that he's looking smug about something.
I like this sad little boy also.
This boy up here, this top boy.
That's how I feel sometimes when I have to do a speed draw. I'm like,
I'm sorry that you have to do a speed draw next week.
Well, this is to help me also.
Yeah, you'll use these techniques.
I'm gonna use these techniques, and then I'm gonna come in with my speed draw, and it's just gonna be Nose Dog. It's just like I drew Nose Dog.
I'm a fan of Nose Dog.
I'm a fan of Nose Dog. This thing we came up with on draw class.
All right, you can reshare.
Yep. Okay. So now Now we're gonna do a little bit of life drawing because I think that's always just good practice.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but again, we're gonna try and keep it loose. I don't want to like you can sort of do whatever you want. You can do gesture, you can do contour, but I think the thing to focus on here is again the feel more than the look. You're looking at the source material, but we're kind of just vibing it out, if that makes sense. Let's start with this guy right here, this rhino.
That's a rhino.
We're gonna start with this rhino, and I don't want to set a timer for these. We're just gonna go until we feel good. And I want you to practice to feel looking more at the thing you're drawing than you're drawing,
That's
and
always good.
try
Good
and
advice.
focus on what you're seeing. And again, I'm gripping it too tight. Loosen it up. Loosen it up, Nathan. Focus on what you're actually seeing more so than what you think you should be seeing or what you think it should look like. Yeah, I'm just going to do sort of a contour here, trying to lift my stylus as little as possible. And just focus on these shapes.
Like definitely that front leg that's like picked up. That looks different than my brain wants it to look,
Yeah,
for sure. If I trust my brain on this one, it's not going to look like that.
right. And I've already gotten the bottom and the top different, and that's okay. These again, we're just loose, you know?
It's not about that today.
This is practice. You're not turning this rhino into a teacher. You're not turning him into a teacher either. He's a
You
rhino.
could. You could put a little like teacher hat on him. What's a teacher hat?
It's like a baseball hat that says teacher. You're not doing that.
Rhinos are like kind of weird looking.
Yeah. But that's okay. They're allowed.
Neo said, "What are any of you saying?" That's part of this too. It's the free association
Yeah.
of letting your mind wander with, in a judgment-free zone.
I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna go even crazier. Just gonna try and like blob in this shape here. Try and
The rhino's eye placement is like kind of crazy.
yeah.
It's like almost just like in the middle of the side of its head. What's the
Yeah.
deal with that?
It's to see predators.
What's gonna predator a rhino?
Hippo.
Who?
A hippo.
Hippo predator rhino?
No. But imagine a world where it did.
Well, that would be a real fight for the ages.
Yeah. Again, I keep making his neck too short. That's okay. That's okay. Sort of the idea here. Again, we're just like getting looser and looser with it each time. Try and go even looser.
That's what I'm trying to do right now too, trying to get real loosey goosey.
Just like feel the try and like feel the weight. It's like I was watching a video before the stream. This artist, forget his name, but he keeps saying the phrase "let the ground win" when it comes to like character design, creature design, like
let the
gravity.
ground win.
Let the ground win. Everything is being pulled down by gravity, and there are these hard horizontal lines where it hits the ground.
It's pretty good phrase.
Yeah. See, already starting to feel a little better. I kind of like this one. I made his mouth way too big. But besides that, his head's still too big compared to the neck, but anyway, let's
Man, if you look at an animal long enough, they really start to look crazy.
Yeah. Animals are crazy. Got all these bits and bobs. All right, let's do a different one. Let's move on. We got this lizard here.
Lizzie.
Got some real good geometric shape.
Lizzies are definitely one of my weaknesses.
You have a weakness to lizzies.
I'm gonna let the ground win though.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Touches the ground and it's just straight across.
Nathan, would you mind speaking up a little bit when you're talking?
Oh, sure. Sorry.
It's just getting you a little quiet. I want to make sure you're coming through.
I'm not saying anything important, but yes, I will.
But it's the vibes of what you're saying.
It's the vibes. Yeah. Imagine what you think I might be saying.
And imagine it's really smart.
Imagine it's so smart and good and worth the time and money you spent to be here.
I feel like this type of thing is like super helpful.
I'm glad.
It helps me, that's for sure.
Well, I'm glad. This is for you mostly. This class. I was like, Jacob's been feeling a little tight with this stuff.
Enough.
Because I thought, we'll draw some animals, and then the last thing we're gonna do is just design some critters.
Ooh, yeah.
Based on, we've gotten loose. We've looked at some stuff in life. In this case, photographs of stuff, but
Neo in chat said, "Okay, there was definitely a step between be loose and do incredibly good art studies that I didn't catch." Yeah, it's even if you're at different skill levels, if you're like earlier on in your art journey and you're not as like adept at doing studies, the same knowledge sort of still applies. Still like loosening up, going easy on yourself, and focusing on like this like repetition and this like feeling of like drawing and then comparing and drawing and comparing to the reference, but without saying like, oh, I did a bad job or I did a good job. Just being like, I'm just each time trying to like find some improvement.
Yes. Yeah. You do not need to compare your drawings to mine. Just compare them to your own.
Yeah, you just want to get better than you were doing
And
before.
and like I said, if these animals are not doing it for you, pick any object in your home, go on, a photo album you have, pick a picture of like yourself or a friend of yours if you're more comfortable drawing people, if you're more comfortable drawing inanimate objects. For me, animals are my happy place. I feel like I can really let loose when I'm drawing those. Um and just, find bits to exaggerate and play with, but it doesn't really matter what you're drawing as long as this is meant to strengthen the whatever part of your brain translates what you see with to to the part of your brain that is making your hand move. And that's just like a neurological connection that gets stronger the more you practice.
Yeah.
And um so if you don't do this type of thing at all, it's not gonna look the way you want, and that's okay. The Like I said, nothing you draw here today on this class is for anyone but you. If at the end of the class you've drawn nothing that you like looking at, you never have to look at it again. But there was still value in doing it because you learned. Your brain, even if you don't feel like you learned, I promise you did.
Yeah, your brain like takes this stuff in and then it kind of like we said earlier, it cooks.
Yeah.
It like puts this stuff in, and even if you don't feel the improvement today, you'll find that like you go back in a couple days to do a study and like it just feels like a little bit easier
Yeah.
than it did before. Like something like clicks in a way that it didn't before. There's like something to be said for like these periods of study and then periods of rest where your brain like sort of interprets and internalizes the information.
Yeah.
And it's like that combination of things really, bless you,
Bless you.
really
Bless you.
really helps you get there.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Oh,
Ooh,
Rhino's enemy. Rhino's enemy,
their
the hippo.
natural enemy in the wild, for real. The hippo.
The hippo.
This is one where you really have to draw what you see.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you think, because there's no way you're going to be thinking. You don't have a full 3D model of a hippo inside your mind.
No.
To like draw from.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
truly, it's silly.
It's absolutely bonkers.
There's like no excuse for this. Right?
So the teeth are just wherever.
There's no, it's hippos got to get it together, man.
Figure your shit out, hippo.
This is like,
you're embarrassing yourself and everyone around you.
Got these like Shrek ass ears. Hippos are scary, dude.
Hippos are terrifying. They will mess you up.
I think one of their tricks is that when they're not doing this with their mouth, they look like cute little friends.
Yeah.
When they're like in the water, you just see their little heads.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, look at this. This guy wants to be my friend. He does not want to be your friend.
He does not want to be your friend. He wants to ruin your whole biz.
He wants to crunch on your bones.
He wants to crunch you. His eye, it's not even, it's like all the way up. He's going, ah!
Yeah. It's completely wild style. Got this sort of spine situation.
Start at a different spot. I started with the back, now let's start with the mouth. Just, yeah, just like let your hand guide you. Just relinquish control a little bit. And it's not going to look right because if you don't do this often, the connection isn't there. But it's important to practice feeling the way this feels. To let your eye guide your hand. Your eye is guiding your hand more than your brain when you do this. Make it, let it be squiggly. Let it be wrong. This is your hippo. This is your mind, hippo. He can't hurt you. He's not real. Hippos aren't real.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. You heard it here. Nathan said hippos aren't real.
Hippos aren't real.
There's one thing you take away.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah. And like as you're doing this, you might just get inspired. You might just be like, okay, doing this made me understand the way these shapes, these like monstrous shapes fit together better. Now I want to draw a monster. I'm done drawing these animals. And that's go be free. Draw a monster instead. We're gonna draw a monster in a sec. We're gonna draw some creatures. Let's do one more. I've got a Gurgilla.
Ooh.
Let's do a little, sort of part way. We've got some, if you're used to drawing more humanoid figures, this can be, it's a little bit more familiar, but there's still some difference.
And this is like, this gorilla looks like they know something.
He's smirking. He's like, yeah.
What do you know?
What do you know? What do you know, Mr. Gorilla? I love gorilla shapes, man. They're so good.
I'm like gorillas are another tough spot for me.
Again,
so
I appreciate you. I appreciate you trying it, but also you can draw something else.
Well, because I have mastered these techniques you've taught me today.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing it bad.
You don't need to worry about it. You can do it bad.
This is my gorilla.
This is your gorilla. Do 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 do. My gorilla.
He's not right. This gorilla ain't right.
Do like a little focus right on the face.
I'm gonna finish it though.
Yeah,
How else am
he
I
is
to
so
learn?
he is so coy, this gorilla.
Tell me your secrets, gorilla.
The head is so much bigger than the face.
Yeah, that I think that's really what gets me.
He's got such a little face, and then his head goes like bwomp, and then there's a whole second bwomp at the back.
Like, what's the deal with that?
What's he doing?
Doing a little squirt.
This is the worst one. I'm
Okay,
getting
get
worse.
out of here. I gotta try again.
Yeah, you don't like it. Try again. Let's
I
get the whole
gotta
gorilla
I gotta
shape.
like learn the fundamentals of
Gorilla shapes.
gorilla shapes. Like this. This goes around town. But then the head just keeps going up. Like, what is that second head lump? The top head lump is, there's no, scientists are baffled.
Little booty. Little leg. Another little leg. And
It's like, trying to get this like eye shadow zone just right. It's like a little visor of shadow.
yeah.
That ain't right, but
No,
right enough
it's
for me.
okay. It's okay.
Right enough
All right, that's
for
enough. That's
this.
enough looking. That's enough looking. Do you want to share any of yours?
Oh no, that's fine. You get the what they look
Okay. So
like sketches of
now
animals.
for the last like half hour ish, let's just draw some stuff that we want to draw. I'm also very open to if anyone has any questions, just general art questions. Um, there are only 10 of you watching, so feel free to just uh lay them out there. But like now that we've gotten loose, now that we've drawn some shapes, we've drawn some critters, let's just see, let's just go back to now following, letting our hand guide us and see what sort of fun what sort of fun we can have. It's just like
We got a question out the gate here.
mm-hmm.
Tips on impatience while art practice.
um I guess acknowledge how you're feeling. You're valid for feeling the way you are, but also know that meet yourself where you're at. I think that like you can't control the way you feel, right? Like it's the feelings are going to come to you. You're going to feel like I wish I was getting better faster, but also know that that's not how it works. It's okay to feel impatient, but it's also okay to remind yourself that um that these things take time and practice, and you can always just sort of go back to doing you can always go back to your comfort zone, right? Like it's important to push out of your comfort zone if you want to improve, but if being out of your comfort zone for too long makes you feel bad, you can always go back. You can go at whatever pace you want, basically. Like don't be so hard on yourself, I guess. right? Like,
Yeah. You can always, like Nathan said, analyze. I feel like there's a temptation, like, if you try, if you want to try something new and ambitious, but it's like too many new things and you fail at it, which happens to me all the time. I try not to get too upset with myself
yeah,
and instead say, just like analyze what the situation is. It's like, okay, the problem here was I tried to do 3 new things I've never done before, all in this one piece, and it was too overwhelming, and I got stuck. So it's like, so let's peel it back a little bit, and I'll just try one of the new techniques I was gonna do, and the
yeah,
rest I'll stick with what I know. And that's like sort of the golden ratio of improvement, is like 90% doing things you already know how to do and 10% something new, so that you're like working off the basis of your existing skill level.
you ever you ever draw a hippo's head on a gorilla's body?
No,
It's pretty crazy.
I'm scared about it.
I'm scared about it too. I don't know how I feel about this guy. Yeah, it's because it's tricky, right? Like, you, I never want to tell someone how to feel, because your feelings are valid, and the I think it's always important to acknowledge how you're feeling, and not just like be like, I'm wrong for feeling this way, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
it's natural to feel frustrated when you're trying something and it's not working. Your goal, or your what you had in your mind for what you wanted to create, isn't lining up with what you're actually creating. And that's that's the feeling that everyone who does creative work has. um so you can feel that way, and then take a step back once the most intense part of that feeling has passed, and you can be like, okay, like that means you're experiencing the creative process, right?
yeah,
That
that's part of
frustration,
it.
the creative growth is bridging the gap between what you want to be making and what you are capable of making. And the only way to to shorten that gap is to keep keep trying. And that doesn't mean, torture yourself with making something, forcing yourself to keep going when you're just like not feeling it. But take a break, take a step away, and then come back.
Totally.
And if coming back feels daunting, you don't have to come right back. You don't have to come right back to exactly what you were doing. You can start with, just again, any of the stuff we did today. Just scribbling on the page, reminding yourself that you are doing this thing because on some level you find joy in it.
We got
And
some other questions in the chat.
yeah.
Marcos Lorigo asked how to reconcile anatomy with pushing the pose. When I start pushing a pose, I start thinking I'm going to end up in bad anatomy town. Is it just like camera angles? I would say it's not just like camera angles, but there are like, the problem with talking about pushing the pose is that there's not like a rule set for it.
Yeah.
There's like unspoken rules that you can just tell when it's right or when it's wrong. Um, but the secret to it is really just experimentation, I think. Like draw from reference, like an anatomy, like a gesture drawing, and then try to exaggerate the elements of it that emphasize the motion of the pose. So if you have a character that's like, reaching out a hand forward in the reference, make them like leaned forward even further, make the line of action sharper, make their hand going out further. It's basically just taking what you see and then exaggerating it like 10 to 20% or something. Like if you go too far, it'll stop looking right, and if you don't go far enough, it won't look as lively.
Yeah.
So it really is just like a training your eye and hand over time.
Yeah. And that's another good one for like looking at what what other artists you like are doing,
Yeah, totally.
and mixing in anatomy practice from life with doing studies of uh other artists' work, which I believe we've done a class on that. I think you hosted that one, like picking one aspect of an artist's work and really focusing on that.
Yeah, that was one that I did.
So in the case of pushing a pose, find an artist who pushes poses in a way that you find enjoyable, and just try breaking them down to their like most basic shapes.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to clearly see when you break it down like where they went a little crazy, where
Yeah.
they like did something that is not exactly true to real life anatomy but looks better.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the classic saying, know the rules and then you can break them.
Yeah.
If you learn anatomy pretty well, it will start to become more obvious to you where you're allowed to break the anatomy rules for the sake of making a more dynamic piece. But it does just take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and it's difficult to explain
Yeah.
because it's largely like a visual interpretation issue.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a pose right now that I'll be able to like show
Ooh, okay. I'm excited.
just as like an example, because this one's completely off the dome, but I'll show where I'm like trying to. Where I'm
It's
trying to
fun
like
to
push things.
just let your lines be wiggly, you know?
What's that?
It's fun to just let your lines be wiggly.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
You can go back in like when you're sketching. I always
He's
forget.
sketching.
I always forget because like when we're doing drawfies, I'm trying to do these like clean lines in the sketch, but that can sometimes be limiting. It's like when you're just like doing an underdrawing, you can really get loose. That's what the class is about.
How do I keep doing this?
Here comes Nose Dog again. Nose Dog for memory.
Yo, nose dog, let's go.
This time he's going to be wearing a brimmed hat.
Um, All right,
Nose Dog
I'll
is the best character I've ever come up with.
Nose Dog is pretty incredible. I'll show this pose real quick. And just talk about like the thought process.
Let's talk about it.
And this is in keeping with the class today. It's, you know, far from a perfect pose, but it's pretty dynamic, so I think it'll get the point across.
Ooh, yeah.
So if we're looking at something like this, which I just was like, let me try to get a dynamic pose from like a weird angle. There are things about this pose that are not true to life, but are cheated for clarity. And a lot of pushing poses, I think, is like focusing on opposites. So, for instance, with this pose, I started with this shape right here.
Yeah.
Basically just this, because I knew I wanted to have one shoulder up, one arm going up, and then I kind of followed the chest line here down. And it's like, well, if one shoulder's up, one shoulder's going to be down. So the other shoulder would be like on this side of the body where you can't see it.
Right.
So that's this arm. Do I know if that arm's coming out of exactly the right place? No. But it looks feasible. A lot of like pushing poses is like knowing what looks feasible.
Yeah.
And
getting away with it.
Yeah, getting away with it. Like it might not be exactly correct. I don't know, but it looks like it could be. And then just focusing on like this arm is coming at us and getting bigger. This arm is moving away from us and getting smaller. Same with this leg coming at us, getting bigger. This one's going away from us, it's getting smaller. Torso moving away from us, like angling things in different directions and then focusing on like opposites is usually how I think about it when I want to push a pose. Like make something coming at us come more at us, make something going away from us go more away from us.
Yeah.
And you can push it even further, like if you want. Like I could take this whole leg off and be like, what if I want the leg to be like really coming at us?
Yeah, widen it out.
And this is like how you experiment, right? Like if I do this and I'm like, actually that doesn't look right, it's like two coming at us.
But in this case I think it looks pretty good.
But you can really push it and like see how far you can go before it doesn't look feasible anymore.
Right.
So like what if this other leg is like really, really going away into the distance, doing like a big split.
Yeah.
Which means we'd have to treat these arms in the same way. Like this arm is like, you know, really, maybe we push it even like back further this way.
Yeah.
And it's like really receding. You got like a hand. This like looks kind of crazy, but this is like how you experiment with this stuff. Yeah. And then we can like really make this like coming way at us.
That's awesome. Such a
like,
good way to visualize this.
Like this looks kind of crazy. Like I can tell from looking from my anatomy knowledge, this back arm doesn't look right. You can see too much of it.
Yeah.
From like where it would be. So we can try like, you know, moving it a little bit. We can try like adjusting it, making it a little bigger, adjusting the position on it a bit. And it's like, okay, maybe it needs to be like it would be here, but it would be even like steeper the angle on it. So you would like barely see this part of it at all. Like it's going straight out that way. And then there's like, you know, a hand doing something way over there. So yeah, that's my example. You can just go crazy with it and like see what you can get away with. And the more you strengthen up your anatomy knowledge, the more you strengthen up your anatomy knowledge, the easier it will be to see what works and what doesn't work. You'll be able to like tell just by looking. And then you can get away with more and more fun stuff.
I see another question from Ellie.
I'll give it back to you, Nathan.
Thank you. Any tips on trying to maintain looseness in drawings when doing line art? My drawings always stiffen up a lot when I clean up my lines. That is a good question. Something that I try and work on as well. Let's use this dinosaur as an example.
I really like that
Let's
dinosaur.
Thank you.
I feel like you got really good movement on him.
So we'll just, say you've got just like sort of a loose sketch that you're like, I want to clean this up. I want to make a more finished piece from this. We'll just finish with this, So yeah, there's a lot of nice movement here. There's a lot of looseness. If I was gonna like ink it, right? Yeah, if you just sort of I think one thing you can think about is line thickness. A way to sort of cheat and make even if there aren't as many squiggles, a way you can sort of make something feel more dynamic is to alter the thickness and how hard you put your pen to paper
Yeah, totally.
or stylus to screen, in as it were. And there's a thing in art called like T lines, where like lines intersect with each other, and typically those are what's indicating depth. um those places where shapes overlap, creating the illusion of depth. You typically want the shape that's in the foreground to be have a thicker line than the shape that's behind it, so it feels like it's coming towards you. And then yeah, I think just keep keep that loose grip uh on the stylus, and don't be afraid to have your lines be a little wiggly, even in the inks. And I think this is something that I'm working on as well. um I also feel like my drawings get a little more rigid when I ink them.
I think that happens to like everybody.
um
It's a very common issue.
you again, one way around it is to not fully not fully ink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like leave I for for a very long time, the my main priority with my inks was speed, efficiency, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely easier to render a piece if you close your lines, because you can just fill. But sometimes leaving it a little open, and then letting your eye fill in the gaps can make it feel like there's more movement as well. It's more looseness, and
Yeah,
then
totally.
you can fill it in.
Something I like to do if I'm going for a more energetic ink is just go fast to
Yeah,
like more mimic the style of when I sketch.
yeah,
To like make myself be loose by going faster than I can reasonably keep it clean.
yeah.
And you end
That's
up getting
smart.
some of that like energetic feeling from the speed.
Yeah, there's no like one right answer, unfortunately.
I,
But
I love this style you've done here. Like the looser with the line breaks gives it like an ink brush feel.
yeah,
That definitely keeps a lot of that energy in the piece. Yeah, totally.
And then, you can go in with like your shading and, try and block in the rest. And yeah, like, you know, if you're being intentional with your rendering style, if you're like going into it with like, I would like this to feel like a looser piece, and just every decision you're making as you're rendering is like, does this accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish here? um that's an example of when you do want to turn your brain on for the artistic process. This whole class has been kind of about like turning your brain off a little bit and just following your muscle memory and trying to improve on that. But when it comes to like rendering and stuff, then you're like, yeah, you're making decisions. You're trying to be intentional. And so um you know, if you're constantly like checking in on yourself and being like, okay, did I is this working? Is this accomplishing what I want? And if the answer is no, then, try again. Scrap it and try again.
Do it
Like I
different.
did. Like I did that first set of lines and I was like, no, that's not loose enough. Let's try it. You know?
Yeah, I really like the effect you got on
You
this.
you can just I feel like I'm not like, I didn't go to art school. I don't have like the artistic vocabulary necessarily to answer these questions, but like usually the answer is like, try and vibe it out.
As a
in
professor would tell you,
in my experience,
just
it's
vibe it
like
out.
people who are professionals would see this and be like, no, that's terrible advice. But I don't know, you're here, this is my advice.
I don't think it is terrible. I mean, I'm also
it's
not a professional, so maybe that's why I agree with you. But I
it's
feel
just
like
like
one
you
of the worst things you can do is is think too much about the piece before you start.
mhm.
Like get too firm an idea in your head of what you want before you begin, because you should be making like changes and adaptations on the fly based on like what you're seeing and how it's going.
Yeah, but I
Um
guess the
and that's
advice is
vibing
like,
it out.
give yourself enough time to start over. This is
Yeah.
again advice for myself as well. It's like, because there's gonna be at least one thing, hopefully, that you like about it, even if it's not fully accomplishing what you want. And then you can take a break, come back, try again. Um, because it's, you know, you're in control. It's your piece. It's your art. And you decide how much time you want to spend on it, how you want it to how you want it to feel when you look at it. And when you see it and you're like, you know what, this isn't doing what I want it to do, you can you know just try holding your pen different. Try uh try making your lines different. Try moving your arm different. you know making adjustments as you go until it feels closer to what you want, until you get away with it.
Yeah. Something I find really funny, and this seems to be the case for like almost any creative endeavor, is that there's like a sort of a bell curve for the way you think about your creation process. And it's like at the beginning, when you first start drawing, you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just drawing, I'm just vibing it out. And then you start like learning like technicals and stuff, and there's a long period where you're thinking really hard about every aspect.
Yeah.
like in technical terms, because you're like trying to learn and internalize all that stuff. And then like after that, you get good enough that a lot of that stuff's just like in your brain. And then you just go back to vibing it out again. But you're
Yeah.
vibing it out on like a basis of like all this knowledge you've obtained.
And I feel like there's like a constant back and forth as
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
learn more,
Vibe it out.
vibe it out, then try and learn more, and
Yeah, you
then
got to go back
but
to it's less of a bell curve and more of like a sine wave.
yeah,
It's like you go through phases of where you're like learning and really thinking, and then you go through phases of like vibing it out with the knowledge that you've obtained, and it like reinforces it.
right.
And then like the more knowledge you obtain, the more you don't have to think about it as much once it's like in your brain. It's wild,
Yeah.
man. Brains are weird.
Brains are yeah, it's like it's really incredible what your brain is doing and thinking about and the connections that are being made after you do even just I'd be interested to see if, after this class, wait 24 hours and then just try and draw something and like see how much more comfortable you feel
Yeah.
drawing, or how better, if you feel better about the stuff you're making, if you feel like it feels more loose, if you feel like you can be more creative, um and have more fun with it.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
I already felt some of that just over the course of this class. Like
Yeah.
the drawings I was doing at the end, I felt really like loose on.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think it's a good practice to mix in the the technical practice, the intentional, I want to improve this skill, so I'm going to focus on improving this skill, with these more free form, just like give your brain a rest and just let your dexterity, let your muscles fly free,
Fly
and
free, you
try.
sweet bird.
Fly for you, sweet bird, you sweet artistic bird, and just make some nonsense, and then make sense out of the nonsense, and then take that nonsense with you into whatever else you're trying to do.
And if you keep doing stuff like this, you'll, eventually be looking back at stuff you made several years ago and being like, why did I think that was good? I remember thinking that was good, and now I
And
don't.
now,
And that's a good thing.
yeah,
It's a feeling you want.
but also sometimes good enough is good enough.
Just like this lion.
Just like this lion, he's telling you it's good enough.
This is the lion of it's good enough.
This is the good enough lion.
If it's good enough for this lion, it's good enough for you.
He's saying,
It good enough.
you're good enough.
I'm a lion with a man's shoulders, and I'm here to say,
Yeah.
be like me.
Be like me.
Well, I guess that's about it for this one.
Yeah, I think so.
You got
Any
any
other
parting words?
any other cues? I always mess up
Nicopole
at least
said I
once.
always mess up. Oh, you reading that too?
Yeah, because my
Go
hand
ahead.
goes a bit too far on a line or something. Yeah, which is why I prefer digital inking. But I think most artistic professionals will tell you that it's good to mix in some traditional media, even if you're primarily a digital artiste like I am.
Yeah.
Um, something about just drawing pen on paper or pencil on paper is just, it's good for your brain. It's good for your brain. It's good for your soul. It's good to actually touch something, you know,
Yeah. Touch something real.
touch something that's not pixels.
But this was
Um,
great, Nathan.
Thank you. I
I
thank
felt
you,
like it
Jacob,
was good
for
for my brain.
yeah. I think go easy on yourself. Remember whether it's drawing for fun or drawing in a professional capacity or an aspirational capacity, like remember why you're doing it, which is on some level the act of creating is joyful. And if you're feeling like it's just causing you stress, um and not bringing you joy, there are levers you can pull to bring yourself back to a place of joy and relaxation and comfort, and that's okay. You deserve those things, and you can give yourself those experiences.
Yeah.
Just as it's important to get outside your comfort zone and push yourself when you're ready, it's also important to rest. Um, but uh, basically, it's worthwhile. It's more worthwhile to draw than to not draw. If you find yourself just not motivated and not wanting to draw, try some of these things and see if that helps. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah. There's
And that's
lots of different things.
I'm always here to say take a break when you
Take a
need it as
break.
well. But if you want to ease back in, you don't have to go jumping in the deep end. You can wade into the shallows and just splash around for a bit and then get out and towel off, that's okay too. You can go at whatever pace you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And ultimately it's for you. Drawing should be something that you do for yourself. Um and
And as
I'm
much
here to encourage you to do
as
it.
this was for you, you being a patron is also for us.
Yes.
And we must thank you for your support.
Yeah,
We
thank you
simply
so
must.
much. It really, we've been doing this for over 3 years now, and I'm always so happy when anyone shows up to these classes. So thank you so much. I hope you get something out of it, and happy drawing.
Happy drawing, everyone. Go out there and have a fun draw time.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one of these.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I've ended